I wasn't trying to get anybody that you may know, that you know about already confused with who I was thinking about. That's all.
The hanging
I'm
Chad.
kind of tired. I've been up since 2 a.m. I have my radio job on Saturday mornings, so I'm a little punch drunk.
Kay
So
had to look for.
I'll just let you be. I'm gonna watch you cook though. You know that you
Trish
got
had to look
eggs.
for a $5 bill. Had to get that hit,
And once you get
and
that,
then now she got a DoorDash of $24 worth of eggs,
My battery's about to
and now she wants to get milk,
Okay.
even though she gets $8,000 a
I
month.
was going to walk to.
Are we in
I was gonna
Winco?
walk to Walgreens and get some chocolate chip and stuff, but
Why would you go to
my phone just
Walgreens
died
when you're
before I
at
can
the
do that, so I
store?
have to go back to the charger.
I'll check in with you all later. Be good. Be well.
Why would you go to
Safe.
Walgreens?
Be good to one another. Talk to you later.
Always be good one.
Getting track marks on your neck, honey. Even with the filter.
But now we're gonna get some French vanilla. And then hopefully they're not luncheons. Because what we're doing right now is we're going half and half. We're getting French vanilla and we're gonna fill almost to the top.
Okay. Why would you go to Walgreens? We're at the store. Could have gotten her own eggs.
Trish, sounds like you about to make some bougie brownies with all the added stuff you doing.
Someone sent $24 worth of DoorDash eggs.
Bougie, you know, like I know you know what bougie means.
Ice cream too.
Like uppity, like kind of like rich folk brownies.
$8,000.
Bougie.
I made you ice cream too.
Oh.
The ice cream. And there's our tops.
That buys a lot of fentanyl. And now we're at the store. So we could have gotten our own eggs, huh? Could have gotten our own eggs. Look at that wig coming apart.
You're right, Red Fairy. $5 don't buy more.
Oh, yeah. Needs our coffee. Need some more sugar.
You said peach.
You do realize Trish is the new Lisa. The new Lisa. Everybody pays for Trish's fix. Even though she gets $8,000 a month from the government every month, every single month.
155 people in here. Let's see if we can get to 25,000 K. Louis said, buy some chocolate bars and break it up.
Injection.
I was thinking so. Maybe the people
Injection.
That also will go down to Walgreens and get me some.
Injections.
The house. I don't know.
Look at, we're getting track marks back here.
Oh, my bad.
That filter's falling off.
That's true. With love, gas station food is good.
Oh, look,
especially
using
like
a debit
here,
card.
you can get a whole
Oh,
meal.
that filter just fell off. Oh my God. No, hideous.
Is that?
Someone commented that gas station food is good. And like down here in South Louisiana, like you can get a whole meal. They have it's crazy how much stuff.
Man, when that filter comes down, it's bad.
7-Eleven you can too. So, does anyone know what we just did? Oh, shoot. The heck is it?
So what did we just do? Uh-oh.
Oh, we're gonna
You
do
all
an
right?
upskirt. Let's do an upskirt. No, yeah, we want to see your underwear and your crotch. Look at this. And those kids are watching. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What happened, Chris?
What?
What happened?
We got cream.
No, what with your shoe?
Oh no, there was something biting my feet. I hope this works. I think it will work.
You all right though?
I think so, yeah.
Oops.
Don't
I'm
don't throw
sorry.
the
When the
arrow
filter
back
falls, it
like you
just
was
looks like an
doing. Let
old
me
dude playing
mute
dress up.
because my German Shepherd sees something online.
I'm sorry.
It's not really narrow. It just looked like one.
It's
Oh, that's. I feeded mine not alfalfa, but I fed them oh, name some more. It wasn't oats. Maybe it was oats and not alfalfa, but I sent them oats and I fed them oats and I bought it right from a farmer. Barley. I fed them barley. They love barley, and so do the ducks. The ducks. My 4 ducks had 26 baby ducklings. And all the baby ducklings but 2 grew up to be big baby ducks. And I spent so much raising them. And then something happened with the neighbor, and a Vietnamese lady came down and got them all and took them back to eat. I cried. I cried a lot. My husband wife would punish me by hurting my animals really bad. It was too honest. I cried a
I
lot.
believe it was you that was hurting the animals.
She used to call me names because it's very confusing. Because I acted how I wanted to act, I was called names that I was okay with, but they have negative connotation, like bitch,
Sure.
woman, little girl. Oh, that's so
Sure.
weird. Okay, what else do I have here?
Just like Lisa. Ah, doxing herself again.
Yeti Spaghetti, wasn't that a wonderful experience going to Bucky's? The closest one to me is about 3.5 hours, and I'll drive to it. But
Now we're gonna show our
we
address.
have a Bucky's. They just got all the permit. They're working on the permit stuff, so we're gonna have a Bucky's about 15 minutes from me, and I can't wait.
Yes, Patricia.
Can't even get in her own house.
In my room, remember?
Thank you.
Why doesn't Trish have a key to her own place?
Well, I got cream for
Sucking on that pipe.
eggs.
Tumble. We're getting one in Lafayette. That the property's been bought, and
Nobody
I think
cares.
they're working on the permits. I can't wait because I love
Nobody
me some
cares.
Buc-ee's. It's an experience to go to Bucky's.
All the eggs are gone.
So I get Dave
No,
and Buster's.
Bucky's is like the king of convenience stores, gas stations. Like the one that I go to in Baytown is one of the smaller ones, and it has like 94 or 104 gas pumps.
Don't care.
They sell everything, snacks. They have their own stuff, old time snacks, sodas, souvenirs, clothes, Bucky's, souvenir stuff. It's just wonderful to go to. And it started in Texas, and it's moved. They've built some like in most of the southern states. Someone said the largest car wash is in Bucky's.
What the
I
fuck is
haven't been
hanging
through
off
it
her?
since
A
yet.
hair tie? It's pink.
Um,
It's
and
it
like
was
they have
dangling.
smoked meats. They make their own jerky and fudge.
Don't care.
Yeah,
Well, whatever it is, it
if
fell
you
off.
get a chance, you need to, or even people in the chat, you need to just go Google Bucky's, and you're gonna be
Trish is gonna make all those
surprised at it.
cookies with the sores on her hands, and then all these fucking nylon arm
Yes, their
covers. Oh
brisket
God, they got
sandwiches
to be
are
covered in
amazing.
cooties. She was dumpster diving in those things and in the gloves. Watch, she'll be kneading dough in the glove. Wipes her nose. The fuck, it's not a garbage disposal.
Yeti, that's what I said. It's just a whole experience. Like, it's just amazing. But if you go, make sure you have
Coffee?
some coins in your pocket, because you're
Oh.
gonna spend a lot
She
of
take
money.
the creamer for the coffee. Oh my God. No.
She's making brownies and ice cream.
Nothing like taking shit off the floor. What? It was on the floor. It was on the floor. Oh my God. It was on the
You need to
floor.
make a trip down south, especially like my area.
Oh my
It's
God.
amazing.
Holy crap. Oops. Don't fall. Don't fall down.
Oh, really? I didn't know Buck, the son, got arrested.
You gotta do one candy bar at a time? What the fuck?
Oh, wow, Renee.
As usual, the dryer's going.
I'm sure the dad is going to be paying for the best lawyer in Texas to get that taken care of. Kara, I am from South Central Louisiana. I'm near Lafayette. I'm in Cajun country, is what it's called
You know,
around here.
Big Barb? Ew. Just came from the store, did not wash hands, wearing those nasty ass gloves and ripping apart the candy bar.
Me too, Renee. I love
Dear
I love
God.
Louisiana. Yes, I've eaten alligator.
Don't care. Please wash your hands. There's a dog in there.
It was bite-sized and fried.
And they're
it had,
smoking
like a clean taste. I hate
drugs.
to say it, but it does kind of taste like chicken. Yep. Wife and do you mind if I call you Ann? I promised Trish that one day I'm gonna walk her through how to make gumbo.
I'll find it indeed. I look forward to it.
Renee, I have crawfish ponds across from my house. Okay, thank you so I can call you Ann. I don't like mispronouncing names.
The hell is that? I don't know, but it got dropped in. How not to cook. Oh, Lord.
Daddy, come on down. We're in
Why is there a dog in there? I'm more worried
Mardi
about the
Gras
dog.
season right now. Why did you do that, Matthew?
Okay, this looks disgusting.
Miss Illinois, it kind of tastes like chicken.
Ew.
It's a clean flavor. I don't know really how to explain it.
All the fingers.
When I had it, it's been. It tastes like chicken from Vietnam, where the chicken's running around all the time, and we're not as tender as US chicken, but we were.
What?
Chicken.
No one understood that.
So Trish, I'm gonna read this comment to you out, and I'm not trying to be ugly or nothing, but someone is asking, how is your infections? Have they cleared up?
I'm sure never mind. I haven't run the mine too. You know, part of the body you want to see, I'll show you.
That was legible. Look, you get calls.
Yeti spaghetti, is that question for me or for Trish? What is the French pastry that starts with a B everyone loves?
Beignet. Beignets. Beignet. Beignet. There you go.
Oh, a beignet. It's like a fried donut.
Be there in 16 minutes.
Wow, you gotta do that. I did not know the answer to that. I always got it wrong on Jeopardy. Anybody have anything sweet around itself?
I hear snorting.
Yeti, if you ever go to New Orleans, just research beignets because Cafe Du Monde sells a lot because of it's a tourist trap. There are other places in New Orleans that are better than Cafe Du Monde. They even make some now that are stuffed with like kind of like creams and stuff like that.
Somebody open these Reese's.
You did.
Who did that?
You did. You just did.
Nobody?
If you go to New Orleans now, you'll get there, and it's
We just watched him.
Mardi Gras season, so that it's really full of people and partying down there.
We just watched him do it.
Oh, you use Slap Your Mama seasoning? Yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh, God.
Yeah, the king cakes are out too.
You just did it.
I don't know if it's just to fuck with me at this point.
You just did it. We watched you. Are you
What
fucking
happened to the
kidding?
Reese's, Trish? Somebody took them?
One, no, just one.
Oh, my God. Seriously.
Well, the ghost did it. This isn't something I think is like, that's not normal behavior of anyone here. They would have either not done it or eaten the whole thing. Taking one is just.
It is fucking too wasted.
Oh, that's great, Yeti spaghetti.
Oh my God. How dirty his hands are. Oh my God.
I'll
And that
just tell
glove.
you this. This
Oh my
is
God.
for you. If you go to New Orleans in the French
Don't
Quarter,
care. Shut up.
do not wear like sandals or flip flops. Make sure you like in tennis shoes or some kind of enclosed shoe.
Okay. I can't stand listening to this woman. So you know what? We're going to have a little medical instructional video. Okay. I promised it to you and we're going to do it. I'm closing the door. Hubs can listen to his movie. All right. Hang on a sec. I need to get you a visual aid. Okay. So one of the most common questions I get is why do so many IV drug abusers have these puffy red hands? Think of Kizzy. Think of Trish. It can come and go. The redness can come and go. The puffiness can come and go. It can be bilateral, both hands, and it can sometimes just be one. It can even be in the feet. Think of Trish and her foot. Okay. Don't laugh. It's called puffy hand syndrome. And in the 60s, it was discovered by a doc who was medical control over at New York's Department of Corrections. And he noticed that IV drug abusers would come in and they all have these similar looking hands, red, puffy, not painful. The addict themselves didn't even seem to notice. Okay. So even though it's a rare form of lymphedema, so if you're not a medical person, didn't take anatomy in school, as well as having veins and arteries, capillaries in our bodies, we also have the lymphatic system. So we have lymph glands. So you know how under your arm, in your armpit, you have your lymph glands. Sometimes you can get sick, get a cold. Tonsillitis can create these lymphs or the ones under your jaw line to swell and become tender. You have them all over your body, and connecting them is the lymphatic system. Okay. So it's just, I'm going to try and do it simplistically. Think of little tubes, little pipes, and they constrict and expand, and that transports, just like blood, transports the lymphatic fluids away where it gets cleaned in your body and then gets recirculated. So what happens is IV drug abusers tend to never use a tourniquet. It's not like getting your blood drawn at the hospital or the lab where you get a tourniquet and they have you pump your fist and brings all your veins up to the surface. And then they can take your blood. Drug abusers don't do that. They have a very unhygienic technique of injection, if you want to say it technically. They just stick the needle where they can find a vein, where they can visualize the vein. Some addicts get pretty good and they can feel. You just feel lightly. You can feel the vein, especially as you grow thinner, your vein becomes more palpable. So they just poke. That's it. Get a flashback of blood. They know they're in the vein. They inject the drugs. Basically, drugs are a toxin no matter what you're injecting into your system. Your body sees it as a foreign substance. It is a poison, and your body reacts to it. So unlike when you get a lab draw, you'll have a bruise, but in time, that goes away and you don't even see where you got poked. Track marks are because that toxin creates a reaction in your body. Your body wants to get rid of it, and so it sends blood cells to the site of the injection and tries to fight while clotting And the lymphatic system is trying to clean the toxin away, and it leaves the black mark. Over time, addicts will be injecting in the same vein because they want to be sure, oh, I used this place before, I know I got in easily, I'm going to go right below. And then they keep going down, and that's why you get the straight lines. Over time, the lymphatic system becomes destroyed. The poison literally destroys it. Not to mention, when you inject a vein enough, you build up like sclerotic material, scar tissue, if you want to call it, inside the vein, and it becomes tough and impenetrable. If you've had a lot of IVs, like because of my rare disease, I've had a lot of IV starts in my right inner elbow. My right AC is completely shot. And I have to tell people I'm not a drug addict. I've just had a lot of IV starts, even though they already know that because there's no track marks. But if you actually felt the inside of my elbow and my right AC, you would be able to, any phlebotomist would be able to tell, oh, I'm not getting in this, because it feels like a hard piece of licorice rope in there. Over time, a drug addict will destroy all their veins, all the ones they can use, like how Trish is now up in her neck. Eventually, she'll blow those. There's a million places they can go. And that's why Trish needs help now, because she's blown all the ones she can see herself or feel herself. So now she has people finding oddball veins to use. Necks are quite dangerous. If you get air bubbles, if you get a bad cut, whatever the drug is cut with, you get a bad substance, that's so close to your brain, it isn't funny. So what ends up happening is the lymphatic system is no longer able to effectively draw the toxins away. And so the system, the whole lymphatic system, slows down, or it will cease to exist. And what ends up happening is gravity always wins against our bodies. We know that as women. And the lymphatic fluid will collect in the hand. As a reaction, you get the erythema or the redness. It's just a reaction. So that's how you get IV drug addicts with these red, puffy hands, fingers, feet. It depends on where they're shooting. Now, we know from Trisha's sores on her legs, she shoots in her legs. And that's why the one leg is massive. The one foot is massive. So here from Science Direct, you have a case study of a 34-year-old patient. It can occur in people with different autoimmune disorders, people with lupus, people with scleroderma, sometimes heart failure patients, cellulitis. It can be misdiagnosed often. It is one of the things doctors, nurses, medics are trained to look for. And your first question will be, do you use IV drugs? Of course, not everyone's going to answer truthfully. So you look for the other signs like previous or current track marks, trank sores, stuff like cellulitis sores, stuff like that. It mimics all the things of cellulitis. The difference is with true puffy hand syndrome, you don't have a fever. Cellulitis, you do. Cellulitis, the area is going to be hot to the touch, warm to the touch, because there's an infection going on in the tissue. Puffy hand syndrome, no. There's going to be the redness and the swelling, but no, it's not going to be warm. So here's somebody who does have puffy hand syndrome pretty severely, and pitting edema on their leg. So in this case, the person did have a heroin addiction, positive for hep C, also had bilateral hand cellulitis and tenosynovitis. So the tendons were also inflamed and infected. Open leg wounds, kind of looks like Trisha's sores, but this is pitting edema. Puffy hand syndrome can be pitting and non-pitting. If you've had someone you love with heart failure, you're familiar with it, pitting edema. If you're not, when the lymphatic system overloads and stops working, such as in this case, you have stages. You will press down on the leg and then see how fast the dent rises. Stages 1 through 4, and then you have weeping, which is you push down and water fluid comes out. It's actually lymphatic fluid, but it looks like water and it will come out of the skin. That's just lymphatic overload, and you will say this is pitting edema. As you can see, where his sock was has not risen, and obviously he has pits down here that have not come back up. This is another case study of another addict. You can see previous injection sores, also presenting with the redness. And like I said, this will be, and swelling, but this would not be warm to the touch. If this patient had cellulitis, yes, it would be warm to the touch because it would be infected. This person is simply an IV drug abuser. Now, here's the thing. This can actually wax and wane. And in Trisha's case, you will notice the hands will be bright red sometimes, very edematous, to the point it looks like you couldn't bend fingers, it's so swollen. And then it'll go away, and the hands will be a normal color or less red, more of a pink, and then all of a sudden it's back. That happens because the lymphatic system is starting to fail. If you look at Kizzy's hands, you can see the track marks, especially down the back of her hand on her third finger. On the one hand, I believe it's her left hand. But she's never been shy about having had a past, and nobody's saying anything about that. But her hands can be very bright red at times, and then other times not, but she pretty much always has the edema in her hands. Her hands do look, as Pink Floyd would say, like two balloons. This was probably the saddest case study. The Cleveland Clinic, awesome place, has a case study on the internet of a young man who had been sober for 2 years and suddenly, after long-term injection of heroin and methamphetamine, and after 2 years of sobriety, picked it up again and ended up with puffy hand syndrome. As you can see, these ones are not as red. Not saying they're not red, but they're just not what you tend to see. You tend to see like a piece of meat, raw hamburger color, bright. But I have the feeling this person has olive skin, so it's going to appear a little different, but you can see how swollen the fingers are. The backs of the hands are shiny, so they're swollen. It was hard for this gentleman to move his fingers to bend them because of the swelling. This is pretty severe puffy hand syndrome, lymphedema. And here's to show you what it looks like on an x-ray. You can see this extra, there's the puffiness, and all of this in here should be laying flat on your bone, pretty much on your tendon. And this is all lymphatic fluid inside the hand, all of this, because normally your hand has very little fat on it. It has muscle, but it should not be this fat, which is all just edema. And this is another one of the diseases it can be confused with, which you see, unfortunately, a lot of, which is IV drug abuse, etymology, endocarditis. You will get the puffy red hands. You will get the edematous arms, even. His heart is infected because of injecting drugs. Unfortunately, that is a side effect. So you always have to check when you see puffy hand syndrome and you recognize that this is an IV drug abuser. You have to be really careful because they can get pericarditis, endocarditis. The lining of the heart can trap bugs that are injected into them. You name it. Unfortunately, we see too much of this. And it will complicate factors because if your heart isn't pumping correctly, nothing is pumping correctly, including your lymphatic system. And here you can tell, even though this person's been out in the sun and seems to have olive skin or the ability to tan very well, look at the hand holding the syringe. You can tell how much redder it is. Not swollen, but has the redness. That erythema is kind of the precursor to the swelling. It will swell over time. So there's your medical lesson for the day. Don't give Trish money, please. Don't let this Cash App continue. This man, woman, person gets $8,000 in medical discharge money from the military, gets help with housing and only pays a fraction of the rent, and has a rental property he gets a quarter of the profit from. So, no, stop giving money because this is another Lisa. You are paying for this person's fix. Fentanyl is dirt fucking cheap. $4 a hit is not unheard of. And he's got the plugs living in his house. The meth is cheap. And he's got those plugs living in his house. I mean, how many times do we play Where's Waldo with the syringes and caps in his room? Her room, its room. You know? When did it become okay to pay for a stranger's drug addiction? When? This is not helping this person get clean or, as Trisha said, does not want to be clean, which I respect Trish for saying that. Trish does not want to get clean. I think Trish oh my God, look at this. Look at that freezer. Look at how filthy. Do you see how filthy? With all the garbage meat. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at the blood. Oh my God. Oh my God. Look at the moldy bananas. Would you look at the blood? Oh my God. Traphouse. Traphouse Adventures. That is uncovered meat. That's not in a bag. That is not. Would you look at this? That is outside the fridge. Oh my God. And putting the ice cream in there. Don't pay for strangers' fucking fixes. They may want to continue doing this and using, and that's their right, but we don't have to spend our hard-earned money on a stranger's addictions. Okay, that's it. I'm designing another t-shirt. Trap House Adventures. All right, guys. See you in a bit.